Hello, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful sunny morning. The birds joining me, and I'm in front of this glorious camellia shrub. I nearly called it a camilla shrub. Hey ho. And I want to talk about fear. Some of us seem to cope with it a lot better than others. Maybe the very practical-minded people are able to just get on with things and not be fearful, not be afraid. I have to say that my bracelets, my otter spirit bracelets, they serve me well. And I can use those as a physical reassurance as well as the mental and verbal reassurance that I can give to myself that, you'll get through it, you'll sort it, all will be well. And I will stroke them, smooth them. When I can feel that fear starting. Lovely. And I look at my little pictures of the otters as well. I have to have my glasses on for that, I can't see them without. But sea otters, they're gorgeous. So fear. Yeah, there's rational fear. I suppose a rational fear of mine at present is that these glorious flowers, well, they don't last long anyway. But if we have a frost, as is promised this coming week, then the majority of those that aren't in a sheltered position, they'll just drop off. So I've got to take advantage of them and share them with you whilst they're here. There's nothing I can do about that, so I have to set that fear aside. It's a rational fear because the Met people, not that they get it right every time, and the bank of snow that has been promised and promised and promised still hasn't made it here, but they are saying a frost. So I can't do anything about the Met, and I can't do anything about this apart from covering it, which would probably knock off half the flowers anyway. So there are other rational fears. I used to have a fear of the dentist, but I use self-hypnosis now for that, and that copes with that. And of course, twiddling, stroking my bracelets whilst any procedure is being carried out. And we have our ways of coping. The main thing is not to let it overwhelm you, not to let that niggling feeling become a churning in the stomach, a dry mouth, a pounding head, a feeling of not knowing what to do, how to do it, where to do it, etc. The earlier you can cut it off, control it, the better. And then we have irrational fears. I have an irrational fear that I think it's taken over from a fear of heights, which I achieved as a child because my parents were always saying, oh, keep away from the edge, don't go near the edge. I now have a fear of going over bridges when I can see down below, or on piers when there are gaps in the woodwork. And the main fear isn't that I will fall, though that is lurking in the background, but I control that. It's that my ring, whichever one I'm wearing, will drop off and go down. Now, how stupid, how irrational is that? I wear it doing all sorts of things, but no, I have to clench my hand and have my thumb holding my ring as I walk over. Okay, I'm happy to accept that. It affects nobody apart from me. And nobody knows that I'm doing it unless I share it. So shh, don't tell anybody else, please. And I think a lot of us have these irrational fears, and many of them are based on superstitions, like never walk under a ladder. Well, I don't do that anyway, just in case there's somebody up at the top of the ladder with a tin of paint, or that the ladder might slip and fall. It's just health and safety. Or so I tell myself. But then there's the fear over which you have zero control. And that, at present, I feel is very much a universal fear, that we are fearful of what's happening. And we might not have control over things like the frost, but this is things that are being done by other people, things that could go on to affect many more of us than are currently being affected. And I have no control over that, apart from making my feelings known whenever I can. But I do have a feeling that this universe of ours does pick up on things like that. Don't know how you feel about that. Some people agree, some people don't. But fear really, really can be destructive. It's like any problem that's up here. It doesn't stay up there. As I said, it goes down. You get the churning stomach, the dry mouth, the headache. So fear affects us all. And it affects how we do things, because that hamster is going round and round and round when the fear's in there. Maybe it's trying to escape, get away from the fear. I'm not sure of that one. But if you can control it, there are lots of little ways. I used to use, until I got my bracelets, a rubber band on my hand, and I'd just ping it if I felt the fear coming along. And I would be telling myself, stop being afraid, stop worrying. There's nothing you can do about this. Worrying, being afraid, being full of fear will only make things worse. So, on that note, leaving the birds singing. Bless them, that's gorgeous. I had better go and feed Percy and say thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Take the very best care of yourself and keep that fear at bay. Bye for now. Bye.